Hello, my name is Elkrief, and in this video I'm going to explain to you and help you see for yourself why confidence and self-esteem can't make you happy. And I know that sounds crazy, that sounds ridiculous, right? But by the end of the video, if you are open to it, you're going to see the same thing. So in life, we're basically taught that you have two options. You can go around life thinking I'm terrible or I am great. So which are you going to choose? Well, of course you're going to choose I am great, right? When you tell yourself I am terrible, I am worthless, I am unworthy, you get feelings of sadness, shame, depression, despair, loneliness, and all of that. So that's not very enjoyable. So we're taught the alternative then obviously is to tell yourself I am great, worthy, and to believe it, of course, right? Believe you are great, have confidence, believe you are better, believe in your good qualities, believe all these things, right? Have a positive self-image. And that is comparatively much more enjoyable and much more pleasurable, right? To tell yourself I am great, I am worthy, I am smart, I am nice, I am lovable, I am a good person, I am successful, I am beautiful, whatever. Telling yourself those stories are much more enjoyable than telling yourself the opposite negative stories. Definitely, right? You'll be much happier with confidence and self-esteem than depression. But you will also have, as long as you have confidence and self-esteem, you will have a lot of suffering. Okay, and I'm telling you that from my own direct experience. I lived thinking I am the greatest person in the world from about 11, 12 when I started forming my self-image to about, 24, 25 when I lost my self-image. And it's been verified to be the case with others. I've seen so many people come to me that are incredibly confident and they suffer just like me. But you're not going to need to believe what I say in order to discover the truth of what I'm saying. And I don't want you to believe what I say. I'm going to present it in such a way where you'll see that it's obvious. But before we go into it, the reason why I'm making this video is not just to put down confidence and self-esteem. It's because many people that come to my videos or come to my sessions or come to the self-help or spiritual industry are people who have a negative idea of themselves. And they are unhappy. So they are pursuing happiness. Like everyone, anyone who's unhappy or depressed or whatever, we're all pursuing happiness. Or even if you feel just moderately happy but not seemingly happy enough, we're all pursuing happiness. And the pursuit of happiness through self-confidence and self-esteem is actually the pursuit of some happiness and some suffering and never feeling fulfilled. So the purpose of this video is to save you time and energy and suffering, because the journey to self-confidence is filled with a lot of suffering along the way, because you're trying to think positively about yourself, and every time you fail, you shame yourself and all of that. And it's quite difficult to do. So if you're going to embark on a difficult journey, you might as well embark on the journey towards peace and fulfillment rather than towards happier but still unfulfilled and not in peace. So that's the purpose of this video. And now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can start to look at why does self-confidence and self-esteem create some suffering and thereby preventing us from being happy. Well, the reason why confidence and self-esteem creates suffering and doesn't allow you to be happy is simply because good doesn't exist without bad. Okay? So there's really no such thing as good and bad in real life. If you look at me clap, or you look at this movement or whatever, is this a good or a bad movement? Neither. It's just a movement. Good and bad exists in our imagination. It's not part of reality. So it needs to be told over and over again in order for it to seem real. Okay? But in addition to that, good doesn't exist without bad, because if you think everything is good, then it's not good, it's normal. So I can't think I'm beautiful unless I think there is such a thing as ugly. I can't think I'm smart unless I think there is such a thing as stupid. I can't think I'm nice unless I think there is such a thing as mean. Right? So you can't think you are good unless you think others are worse than you. Alright? And so as long as you think there is good, you think there is bad. As long as there's good qualities, there are bad qualities. As long as there are good outcomes, there are bad outcomes. And all of that, right? Beautiful can't exist without ugly. Smart can't exist without stupid. Good person can't exist without bad person. Okay, so as long as you can see that good doesn't exist without bad, then we can move on. So there are more or less, probably more, but I'm only just going to cover 8 things that create suffering, or 8 forms of suffering that will occur in everyone that has self-confidence and self-esteem. Okay? And if you think it's not true by the end, give me an example that you know for sure that you are confident and you don't have one of these. And I won't believe you, but you can try it out. So here are the list of the 8 forms of suffering that will almost certainly occur if you have confidence. The first is anxiety about the future. Second is worrying about others' opinions. Third is a feeling of lack. 4 is judging others. 5 is there's going to be inauthenticity. 6 is going to be like a planning of the future a lot, planning of conversations, thinking about future scenarios and how to behave. 7 is you're going to feel like you have to do certain things that you don't want to do. And the final thing, number 8, is that you're not going to feel free to do things that you do want to do. So now we're going to get into them in a little more detail. So first of all, anxiety about the future. So if I'm confident and I think I am smart, since it's not real, it's dependent on external outcomes. All right? So if I think I'm smart, I'm going to have anxiety about if I do bad on a project, well then there goes I'm smart. It doesn't matter if I've thought I'm smart for 30 years, 40 years, whatever. If I do bad on an upcoming project, or people don't like my work or whatever, then maybe I'm not so smart. Or if I put something out there and people think it's stupid, well then maybe I'm not so smart. My smartness is dependent on how things go, because it's not real. It's not like I can hold it and say I'm smart. If anything happens that doesn't agree with I'm smart, then that weakens and worsens. So I'm going to be afraid of those things. Or if I think I'm funny, right? And I have an upcoming, if let's say I'm a comedian and I put out an album or a CD or whatever, if they don't laugh at it, then I'm not funny, right? Maybe I'm not so funny, no matter what it is. Or if I think I'm beautiful, then if I think I'm beautiful, then I believe that there's such a thing as ugly, and then I'll be afraid of losing my beauty through old age, through pimples, through whatever, right? Through gaining weight. As long as I believe there's anything good about me, it can go very easily. It's very fragile, all these ideas about ourselves. So that means I'm going to fear the future, because I think my happiness is dependent upon thinking positively about myself. The second thing is worrying about others' opinions. So if I think that I'm smart and other people, I'm in a group of people and they all disagree with me, well then it's going to be hard to think I'm smart. If I think I'm beautiful and people don't look at me, or someone rejects me, it's going to be hard to think I'm beautiful. If I think I'm funny and people don't laugh at my jokes, it's going to be hard to think that I'm funny. If I think I'm lovable and someone breaks up with me or doesn't want to date me, if I think anything's good about me and other people disagree and don't give me the reaffirmation and proof, then it goes. So basically our idea of ourselves, our positive idea of ourselves, is partially based on others' opinions and how they treat us. If they laugh at us, we can think I'm funny. If people don't laugh at us, we can't think I'm funny. If people compliment us, we can think I'm beautiful. But if people only insult our appearance, it's hard to think I'm beautiful. So therefore, our opinion of ourselves, our confidence, is based on others' opinions in large part. So of course we're going to fear them, because if they change their opinions, if they take away their opinions, if they stop agreeing, stop thinking we're smart, stop complimenting, stop giving us what we want, there goes our confidence, there goes our happiness. So there's always this fear, this worry about others' opinions. The third thing is judging others. And this is a huge one. So in order for me to think I am smart, I have to judge others to be stupid. There's no way around that. I cannot think I'm smart unless I think others are stupid. It's just, it can't happen. I can't think I'm beautiful unless I judge others to be ugly. I can't think I'm funny unless I judge others to be boring. I can't think I'm likable unless I judge others to be less. I can't think I'm a good person unless I think those people are bad. I can't think my way of life is good unless I think their way of life is bad. Can't. It doesn't exist. I can't say I am good unless I believe others are worse than me. You see, so in order to maintain I am smart, every time I judge someone to be worse than me or judge some behavior to be stupid, I am also unconsciously saying I am good. I am better than them. There is no such thing as I am good. There is only I am superior. Right? Because good is relative to what others are. So it's only I am better than them. If you don't judge others, there's no I am better. And if you are watching this video, if you have anything that you think you're good at, don't you notice you judge others to be worse than you? Of course. So, if you judge others to be worse than you, that's not love. Then you walk around with some disappointment that others are bad, with feeling no love or compassion for them because they're bad, feeling anger. Judgments create a lot of different repercussions in our experience that aren't very enjoyable. The fourth form of suffering that we're going to look at is planning conversations or planning future outcomes in our head, which is a lot of mental energy and time required and prevents us from enjoying the moment fully. And this planning revolves around trying to ensure that we maintain our positive story about ourselves. So if I think I'm smart and I go into a conversation without planning anything to say, well then they might decide, if I just say things randomly and spontaneously according to how I actually feel in a given moment, others might judge what I say to be stupid. They might disagree with me. And I don't want that. So therefore, it makes sense for me to plan smart things to say before I engage in the conversation. Because if I plan it beforehand, then I can feel more reassured and more confident that I'm going to say things that are smart. Right? If I think I'm funny, I want to maintain that. It doesn't matter how many years people have been laughing at my jokes and thinking I'm the funniest person in the world. If I make some jokes spontaneously off the cuff in a conversation and they don't laugh at me, there's going to be this little doubt. Maybe I'm not so funny anymore. Maybe they don't like me anymore. Maybe this, maybe that. So therefore, it makes sense to plan my conversations, plan funny things to say. But that's not enjoyable. When you're planning things to say, you're not enjoying the moment. You're not free. And that leads us to the next one, which is very intertwined, which is inauthenticity. So instead of being free in a moment to act how we feel, say what we want, be open and receptive and listening to what others say, we act how we think others will like us, and we act in whatever way we think maintains our identity. So maybe I don't feel like being funny in a moment. Maybe it's a serious topic. Maybe it's something that's interesting or strange or whatever rather than funny. But I'll feel the need to bring that out because I'm trying to maintain I am funny. Right? Or if I think I'm a happy person, then I might feel like sad or compassionate in a moment, but I don't want to show that. I want to show I'm happy because I want to convince myself that I'm happy and I want to convince others that I'm happy. Right? So it prevents us from being authentic and genuine because we need others' opinions to think I am good or maintain I am good. And we need to also do the same thing ourselves. In order to maintain I am good or funny or cool or smart or nice, we have to always act that way, even if it doesn't feel true to us in that given moment. The sixth thing that we're going to look at is this feeling of not being able to do what you want to do. So the most common example or the most famous example of this is dance like nobody's watching, right? Well, we can't do that. Why? Because we don't want others to think of us as a certain way. Like we want to think we're cool, so we can't dance silly or whatever. We want to think we are macho, so we can't go to an art show. We want to think we're sophisticated, so we can't go to a rock show. We want to think we are beautiful and have good style, so we can't wear pajamas or whatever we feel like wearing. We want to we need to burp maybe or something like that, but we don't want to show that we are human. We want to show that we're always in control or whatever. You see, like, we constantly in this prison of trying to be a certain way and maintain a certain identity and afraid of doing what we actually feel like doing because we're afraid of the repercussions that it will have on my identity. And the same goes for the opposite. So the other thing we were looking at is, so that was you can't do things you want to do, but there's also that you do things you don't want to do. So I know in my life, I thought I was really cool. I thought I was so cool. So I had to maintain that. So on Monday mornings, people would ask me what you do over the weekend. If I said nothing, I'm not so cool. So I would go out to clubs at night or go traveling to other countries or do things that I didn't feel like doing just to maintain the identity I am cool. Right? It sounds like a joke, but it's true. And that's what many, many people do. Pretty much everyone does with confidence. And many people who don't have confidence do it as well. So in other words, we do things just to maintain our identity around it. Right? So maybe we go somewhere that we don't like just to think I am fun, or just to think I'm cool, or just to think I'm tough, or just to think I'm creative, or just to think whatever. Right? Just because we want to maintain our idea of who we are. And the last thing we're going to speak about in terms of the forms of suffering that are created by having confidence is this sense of insufficiency. And that may seem like a strange one, because confidence means I am great, I am smart, I am beautiful, I am fantastic, I am God's gift to earth. But even if you have all those ideas, okay, and you really fully believe them 100%, you will still feel insufficient and lacking. And the reason why is because none of those are real and tangible and stable. They don't exist. To give you an example of that, so my book was downloaded by 50,000 people. So when that happens, I can tell myself a story. I am worthy, I am valuable, I am successful, or something along those lines. But now, I'm here now with you, kind of. Is that creating any feeling in this moment? Do I know I'm valuable and worthy or anything like that now? I'm just here with you. If my full attention's with you, there's no value, worth, no nothing. It doesn't exist. The only time I feel valuable and worthy is if I tell myself the story, because my book was downloaded 50,000 times, that means I'm worthy. Unless that thought shows up, there is no worth, there is no value, there's no such thing. I am not great, I am not good, I am not wonderful, I am not worthy, I am not valuable, I am none of those things. None of them exist in real life. They only exist in our imagination when we tell ourselves the story. Anything that doesn't exist in real life when you're not thinking about it doesn't exist. My nose exists even when I don't think about it. Value and worth exists only when I think about it. And since it only exists when I think about it, it's not real, it's not stable, it's just not real. And since it's not real, it never feels like enough. No matter how great I think I am, it always feels like something's missing. Right? Because the story is in our imagination. If you take a moment now, okay, and picture a really beautiful, big, nice house. Okay, can you do that for me? Okay, can that house give you comfort and shelter in real life? No, because it's a picture in your head. It can't give you comfort and shelter in real life. So no matter how great the picture of me is in my head, it's not real. So it can't give me security if I am actually great. No, it's just a story. And so this sense of insufficiency, this sense of something missing, is usually avoided at all costs, right? We never allow ourselves to be by ourselves with no distraction. Like, give me TV, music, movies, food, friends, talking, internet, anything to avoid just being alone with my own thoughts. Because when we're alone with our own thoughts, then anxiety, stress, insecurity, all that stuff comes. But in addition, the sense of lack is there. And we desperately don't want to avoid it. We don't want to admit it feels like something's missing from my life. And usually when we have that story, when we have that sense that something's missing, we attribute it to something out there. It must be because I'm not successful enough, wealthy enough, loved enough, appreciated enough, respected enough, powerful enough, famous enough. But it's none of those things. As long as your idea of yourself, or as long as who you think you are is an imagination, a concept in your imagination, it never feels like enough. Right? Look how many famous people, rich people, wealthy people, successful people aren't happy. Right? Whether they kill themselves, do drugs, or you see them on reality shows fighting, or anything along those lines. So many not happy. And everyone that's confident will have all of those things. And don't believe me, look how it's impossible not to have any of those things. when you're trying to maintain a story of I am good. Okay? And in addition to that, when you have this sense of insufficiency, I guess this is kind of a ninth thing, when you have that sense of insufficiency and you believe that it's created by something factual, right? I'm actually insufficient in some way. Then we feel this constant need to be productive in every single moment, right? Because if I'm not productive, I'm wasting my time, right? It's a waste of my time. But why is it a waste of your time? Basically what we're saying is I am completely not good enough now, and any moment that I don't spend improving myself is a failure, is a waste, because then I will just stay as I am, which would be horrible, right? I mean, look at that. The need to be productive is the fear of staying as I am now. Wow. Look at that. It's the need to be productive is all based on the idea I am completely insufficient and lacking now. And then we constantly feel this drive to do, improve, and we can't just enjoy ourselves, relax, be free, do what we feel like doing. And then we shame ourselves when we're not productive. It was so bad. Why couldn't I do it? Why did I actually enjoy myself? I should have done something to improve myself. Well, that's not a fun way to live life. I know. I lived life feeling confident and feeling lacking, anxiety, worried about others' opinions, judging, and everything in between. So, now that I've taken away probably taken away your hope of wanting to be confident one day or have self-esteem, what's the alternative? And the alternative is to just be here. I'm here with you now. Why do I need to simultaneously try to tell stories? I am great. I am worthy. You should listen to me. I have good things to say. I don't need to say any of that. I can just be here with you speaking, or be here with you listening, or just be here. I don't need to go into my imagination telling stories of who I am and what this means about me and what that means about me, and what this would mean about me and what that would mean about me. I'm just here being with you. I don't have an idea of who I am. I am not good or bad at anything. I am here. Right? There's nothing. I mean, look, in reality, can you find anything good on me? What's the color of good? What's the shape? What's the size? What's the smell? There's nothing good about me. And there's nothing bad about me. And that means I'm free. I don't have to have anxiety about anything, ever. If I think I'm good at this, let's say, like I'm a good teacher, right? Well then, when people compliment me in my comments and say, you're so great, and I feel good, yay, I am good. Well then when they insult me, I'm going to feel bad. And then I'm going to worry about the next comment that I'm going to get. And if people say I'm so good, well then, when I'm thinking about putting out another video, I'm going to have anxiety. I hope it's as good as the last one, because if it's not, then maybe I'm not so good, or maybe I lost my touch. Right? But I'm free. I'm not good at this. I just do my best, and then each person has their own comments on it. So the alternative is to discover I'm just here, and there's no story about me that's real or true. I am here. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say in this video about why confidence and self-esteem can't make you happy. I hope you got it. I hope you discovered what I'm speaking about. Not believing what I'm speaking about, but discovered it. Okay, so it was a pleasure being here with you, and thank you for listening. I'll see you around. Bye.